Most people don't fail because they lack motivation. They fail because they don't believe they can succeed in the first place. That's self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to get results. And whether you're trying to get stronger, lose weight, or show up consistently, improving your self-efficacy might be the most important thing you ever do for your health, fitness, and performance. So in this video, I'll break down what self-efficacy actually is, 2, the 4 proven ways to build it from Albert Bandura himself, and 3, how to apply this science to level up your fitness, energy, and consistency, especially if you're busy, stressed, and trying to do it all. Albert Bandura, one of the most cited psychologists in history, defines self-efficacy as an individual's belief in their own capacity to execute the actions required to produce a specific performance. It's not just about having the skills, but the belief that one can actually do it. Self-efficacy is a crucial factor influencing motivation, behavior, and achievement. In other words, it's not just what you do, it's what you believe you're capable of doing. This belief affects your willingness to take action, your persistence in the face of obstacles, and even how to interpret setbacks. So, if you've ever struggled with inconsistency, perfectionism, or self-doubt, this might be the real missing link.
Proud of you, my nigga. I'm proud of you. I'm not gonna lie, gang. You're doing your thing. And you know what's crazy? Niggas is not gonna tell you that. But I'm gonna tell you that, you heard? I'm proud of you.
So Bandura outlined 4 key sources that shape self-efficacy. So let's break them down and link each one to real-world fitness application. And obviously this diagram here breaks down what specifically is Bandura's theory. So first up is mastery experience. The most powerful source of self-efficacy is personal success. When you do the thing, complete a workout, stick to your plan, hit a new PR or a new PB to prove to yourself, I can do this. That is the most powerful source of self-efficacy, and that develops mastery experiences. This is why in coaching we often start at the level you currently are and build the foundations for long-term development. Many people feel like coaching might not work for them because they're a beginner or they need to work up to a level to get coaching, but it doesn't really work like that. The best thing for you to do is get a mentor or a coach and build the right foundations through developing those foundational mastery experiences, and that develops your self-confidence and belief that you can actually kick on and develop even further and reach new heights. Now, because success breeds confidence and confidence builds momentum, that's why this is so important. One behavioral technique we can look at applying there is focusing on small wins to create a positive feedback loop. Obviously, if we have a big goal, it can be very daunting and it can be overwhelming that you have to climb this big mountain, but if you break things down into small wins, that builds that positive feedback that helps to propel you towards that overarching goal, right? Number two is vicarious experiences. And what that means is seeing someone like you succeed. This can be incredibly powerful. So seeing someone that looks like you or is in the same sort of situation. And this is why testimonials can be very powerful for helping people understand that they can change, they can develop, and they can reach their goals if they see people who look like them or have similar circumstances achieve what they want to achieve. Now, this is why client stories, testimonials, and if they can do it, so can I moments hit so hard. It activates relatability and shows that success is possible and realistic even with your lifestyle. A behavioral technique there to try and adapt is accountability. You need someone to be accountable to. You need some sort of structure or strategy or plan to be accountable to, or else you won't stick to it and there will be no one there to kind of pull you and say, hey, you're not doing what you need to do to get to that goal. Number 3 is verbal persuasion. Encouragement from a coach, mentor, or even yourself can reinforce belief. It may seem small, but consistent positive reinforcement shifts internal narratives. A behavioral technique there to apply, of course, is coaching feedback, positive self-talk, affirmations, and most importantly, tracking wins and tracking everything you're doing. Writing your sessions down, tracking your food intake, tracking your sleep. You can gamify all of these things and use little wins or little things that happen as positive feedbacks or reinforcements that you're doing the right thing and you're heading in the right direction. And otherwise, if you've done something that hinders that, you can say, okay, I need to stop doing that. And number 4, I believe, physiological and affective states. Affective states just means varying moods. How you interpret your body's signals affects your confidence. If you see sweat, sore muscles, or fatigue as signs of progress, your self-efficacy goes up. Instead of seeing them as like weakness or failures, or I can't do this, so I might as well stop now. So like it says here, if you interpret them as failures or weakness, you're more likely to quit. Reframe sensations. Discomfort means I'm adapting. This soreness means my muscles are responding. A behavioral technique there to apply is mindset reframing, body awareness, emotional regulation strategies such as breathing exercises, problem solving, seeking guidance, and healthy habits. So how does self-efficacy impact your results? Here's where it all comes together. If your self-efficacy is low, you struggle to stay consistent, you avoid challenges, and you sabotage progress at the very first setback. But when you actively build it into your routine and focus on it, you take more initiative, you push through resistance, you bounce back faster from setbacks, and you build the identity of someone who follows through, but also the identity of becoming the person that is required for you to become to actually achieve that goal. And like I said here, and that's when you start actually becoming the person you're trying to be. So what are some practical strategies to improve self-efficacy? Here's what I do with clients to boost self-efficacy fast, especially if they're overwhelmed or starting from scratch. Number 1, design for wins. Set the minimum effective dose when training. So a lot of people can often bite off too much they can chew, or try to do too much too early, and it just sets them back. Or trying to train too much, and then it just becomes overwhelming. Number 2, track success. Visual proof of progress reinforces belief. Number 3, share stories. So community and social proof increases belief in what's possible. Number 4, reframe discomfort. Teach clients to interpret fatigue, soreness as growth. Or even like reframing things where they might have not have reached the target. For example, if you're tracking food, if you're trying to shift your diet, if you're trying to stick to a specific macros or calorie setup, and you haven't achieved it for that week, you need to reframe it and see the challenge or the obstacles as growth. And you need to learn how to improve and use that current feedback you have to build positive feedback loops. And then you go again and you try again, and that's how you improve. Number 5, use positive reinforcement. Celebrating progress, no matter how small. And number 6, build identity. Shift from I'm trying to I'm the kind of person who can do this. So if you're trying to optimize your health, fitness, or energy, don't just focus on the plan. Focus on the belief that you can follow it through. Because when you believe in your ability to succeed, you take action, you adapt, and you don't quit. And that, more than any diet, macros, or training split, is what transforms your body and your life. If this resonated, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment with what you're working on right now. And if you want guidance tailored to you, drop me a message and we can set up a call.